Welcome to the special Kalondolondo program, where we will feature a United Kingdom-based charity organization, Against All Odds. Against All Odds is just establishing itself in Malawi, and Kalondolondo will be one of the programs that the organization will be working with. Recently, the organization held several fundraising activities in the United Kingdom, where they raised money to provide scholarships to 27 secondary school girls in Malawi. One of the schools that benefited from the scholarships is Namikasi Secondary School in Blantyre. But before we travel there, let's find out more about Against All Odds. I caught up with Fikelepi Jackson, who is the CEO and co-founder of the charity organization.
Fikelepi Jackson is an author, she's a mentor, and she's a speaker. As an author, I've obviously written my published book, Against All Odds I Survived. The book alone carries a message of hope, restoration, a message of forgiveness, and a message of redemption. That is a book that has been changing lives all over the world. Out of the book, or at the back of the book, we have Against All Odds Still Standing. You could say the book is just one of the tools that we're using to reach out. Against All Odds Still Standing charity is an organization or a charity that seeks out to spread the message of hope. Our motto is to deliver a message of hope and restore lives. But we don't want to just deliver the message, we want to implement it. And we think that so many times we talk a lot, but we don't do. But at Against All Odds, we get our hands dirty. As I'm sure you know, we are about to go to the school, I think it's Namikazi school. So we know that there's beautiful girls there who are waiting to receive us, and we are looking forward to seeing them. And I think tomorrow we're going to meet the mums and things like that, yes.
I also asked her to tell us more about her mission to Malawi.
Believe it or not, Malawi, the warm heart of Africa, is the first country that invited us to come and do the work that we're doing. And we are so honored that Malawi, whatever we're going to do in the continent, is always going to be that special country where it all began. But having said that, we do work with NGOs on the ground. So what I'm trying to say, we are officially, that makes my heart happy. We are officially registered fully here in Malawi. And we have our certificates. So I think it's with the government and the other ones, so we can be able to do this work. And in all the other different nations, that's exactly what we will do. We'll work with the governments, with other NGOs. So as we speak now, in South Africa, we have people on the ground who are doing the same thing that Kalondolondo is doing for us Against All Odds.
Fikelepi, with support from other United Kingdom-based charity organizations, visited Namikasi Secondary School to present the scholarships. But before that, they took time to visit the homes of several girls who are self-boarders to appreciate the challenges that such girls are facing every day.
When you're wearing your uniform, you look like everything is okay, isn't it? Okay. Florence, come in, darling. Because I found a way to do this quickly. So I'm just going to take you on a tour quickly. Oops, sorry. This is Brenda Banda's home. You've seen her school. Mm-hmm. This is, should we say this is that where you cook? That's like more the preparation.
You cook outside.
Oh, you cook outside, but you prepare, it looks to me she peels there. So this is that. This is Brenda Banda's bedroom. So if we turn around here, Uncle Graham, this is her study area, her library thing.
One of the partner organizations that was part of the delegation was Save a Mother's Lives. Cheryl Iriajan is the co-founder of the organization. I asked her about her organization and how it is linked to Against All Odds.
So Save a Mother's Lives was actually born out of something that was laid on both my heart and my husband's heart 15 years ago. My husband's an economist by trade. He comes from Africa, where I don't, and the combination of my background, which is in women's health, and also a midwife. So very readily we became aware of all the poverty and all the needs of maternal and neonatal needs, and that's the background of Save Mothers' Lives. Our slogan is to educate, enable and empower. So why I'm here in Malawi is really in unison with what I do, and definitely in support of Against All Odds. So Against All Odds, they are looking at the health and the welfare of children and the whole family unit, and that's something that's placed on my heart as well. So that's why I'm in Malawi. Also just to do an assessment and see the needs from a midwifery point of view. I believe that mothers are basically the hub of the family, and really and truly we all wouldn't be here without a mother. So really and truly just to do that assessment.
She also tells me about some of her plans when she gets back home.
Part of our sponsors back in the UK enabled us to have quite nice packs for mothers and babies as well. I want to go out because I'm aware, I believe it's out of every 100,000 there's 400 maternal and neonatal deaths in Malawi, which is exceptionally high, and that's just down to something called postpartum hemorrhage, which is bleeding, which happens universally. Women's uteruses don't contract universally, and it's just down to 1 ampule. So it's really to come and see how we can work together, see the access that's needed, because lots of times it's about education, it's about access, and definitely resources. Well, I will definitely be working in unison with Against All Odds, definitely. So yeah, Malawi is definitely on our radar, something that's very passionate to us.
Also among the delegation was the founder of Zim Women Association. She starts by telling me more about what her organization does.
My name is Florence Nyatsine, and I'm here representing Zim Women Association Northampton, which is an organization which is based in UK, and it's a charitable organization which supports women, young children and young people, and we work with Black ethnic minority groups, and hence we work with Against All Odds, because they also work with abused women like what we do as well, and we work with children. And we are here in mission to Malawi to support Fikele because she's doing a good deed. As an African who was brought up in Africa, I know how it is, how difficult it is to live in Africa if you don't have any resources and if you don't have any money. And I think it's up to us Africans really to make that change rather than leaving it to other people to do it. Hence we try and reach the unreachable here in Malawi. So we basically work in all over the country where we get the opportunity to go and reach out the unreachable. We do support. That's why we are here.
Florence told me about her experience in Malawi.
What I've seen, it's really sad, because I know people do lack in funds, but this is really an eye-opener, because I didn't know that children as young as they are can leave their home and come and live on their own, which is really sad, because that's where they are vulnerable. They are vulnerable in all ways. They can be raped, they can be abused. It's really sad, and really we would like to see something being done by this country, and not only one person can do it. It will take the whole nation to try and make a change, because these kids are our future, and for them to have the brains and everything, they need a good environment.
After touring several homes of girls who are self-boarders, it was time to drive back to Namikasi Secondary School to interact with the students. Pastor Victoria Lawrence from Abigail Outreach Ministries also jetted into the country to support Against All Odds. I asked Victoria why she felt it was important to come to Malawi.
My organization, Abigail Outreach Ministry, is based in UK and is a ministry that supports vulnerable women. And these are women who may have gone through various problems, relationship problems. Maybe they are divorced, they are separated, or they've gone through domestic abuse, or perhaps for whatever reason they found themselves in a very tough situation, maybe in prison. We visit prison, we do prison outreach as well. And when they come out of prison, we support them by rehabilitating them back into the community through employment, counseling and prayer. And we're based in UK.
I also asked her about her support towards Against All Odds.
Against All Odds is a charity in UK as well that does similar work with us. And I believe in the vision of Faith Jackson and what the Lord has called her to do. Because we have similar objectives, so we decided to work together on this mission to Malawi, to come with her and support the project that she's doing in Malawi. So that's the relationship. I think it's quite humbling and it's quite challenging to see so many needs, in the community. And I was quite troubled by the statement that the ministers of gender made, that how young girls miss out on 15 days in school, sometimes because of their period. We brought some sanitary pad, from London to just give it to them and to help them. And it was quite shocking for me to hear that some children will actually go without or miss out days in school just because of this. So, and I pray that the Lord will touch everyone to be able to be more compassionate towards the needs of people around them, especially the government. The churches should rise up in this nation and support these young ones. The government should rise up and support these young ones. God cares about everybody and nobody should do without.
Fikelepi and her friends presented the scholarships to 5 girls who have struggled to pay fees because they come from poor families. One of the girls who benefited and is a self-boarder is Tadala Chilongo. Tadala shares with me her delight upon receiving the scholarship.
I am very happy because my parents were struggling to pay my school fees. I would usually come to school very late because my parents stay far away. Sometimes I would meet thugs along the way who would try to attack me. I am happy that I am renting closer to my school, and now Against All Odds will be paying my school fees.
She also talks about some of the challenges she faces as a self-boarder.
Sometimes I don't have food and my parents can't send me things quickly as they live far. This also means I have no pocket money to buy food as I am a self-boarder.
But what criteria was used to come up with the names of the girls to make sure that only those who are indeed needy benefit? I spoke to Steve Kungala, who is a head teacher at Namikasi.
Well, first let me say that we are so excited about the scholarships. It has been a very big challenge to the girls. And I would want to tell you that there is a bursary committee that looks into it. Fortunately, the headmaster is not in the committee. We wanted to give freedom to the committee so that they work at their own pace using their own criteria. The criteria, of course, I look at it. And a parent PTA is also in that committee. So there is nothing fishy about it. We look at the students that are most needy, those that seriously need assistance from others, and they really qualify. We have so many of them here, and whatever number you are going to give us, I would not hesitate to say it will not be even enough, because I have seen so many girls dropping out of school because they don't have the fees.
He also explains how severe the problem of girls dropping out of school is.
It really affects them so much, and mainly it affects them negatively, because our policy is that after 2 weeks we give a 2-week grace period. After that we have no choice. We chase the students, and you'll see that the girls that were supposed to be in class are not in class. Why? Because they haven't paid their tuition fees, and it's really very, very unfortunate, and it disturbs them quite a lot. because they miss quite a lot if they are not attending classes because they don't have the fees.
As the group took time to impart words of wisdom and advice to the students, I caught up with Graham Kenala, who is responsible for publicity, to find out how Against All Odds is raising awareness on the plight of young girls and women who have been abused.
One of our goals to increase the awareness nationally and internationally. While we're in the UK, I'm involved in some project where I work with Pamtengo Radio, which is a Malawian radio, which is streaming live 24/7. And I also work for Radio 247 in Malawi, which I'm currently the CEO. And I'm also a founder and director of Power 101. So I'm using these devices to increase the awareness of Against All Odds. And we've got some programs that we are running on those two radio stations. And I'm also the person who's involved in facilitating programs like this one, where yourselves as Times Television to cover our programs or our field programs. So it is my duty to ensure that those duties are fulfilled to cover the spectrum of awareness.
Earlier on, as Fikelepi was interacting with the girls who are self-boarders as well as all the students at Namikasi, one could indeed see the passion that she has for these young lives. Earlier on, I asked her why she had such passion when dealing with the youth. What drives her to do what she does?
My story is a very gripping one. You've got to read the book to actually understand how gripping it is. My story is that I am a survivor of domestic violence, and at a very tender age, this happened. I was very young, which is why I'm very passionate with girl child. I was very naive, and I fell into the wrong hands, and the abuse was in both ends. In every art or form, a woman can be abused. Of course, physically, emotionally, and sexually, because we've come to even accept that it doesn't matter, just do it, even when you say you don't want to. But my situation became very intense to the point that I wanted to commit suicide. I reached that point when I just thought, you know what, enough is enough. But at that point, I made a call. I called on God. I said, I don't know if you exist, but whoever you are, where you are, if you created me for the pain I'm going through, I cannot take it any longer. I begged him to take the life. But then I said, if you don't do it, I will do it for you. But I'll wait for 3 days. If within the 3 days I don't see any change or anything, then I will know you are giving me permission to take my life. But if there is one reason, even if it's just one reason, why Fikelepi is alive, I promise you, I will do whatever it takes to fulfill that purpose. And within those 3 days, I'm not ashamed to talk about my faith. Second day, God showed up. Yes, my story changed. He found me in a mess. He redeemed me. He took away all my shame. People say, Fikelepi, you are beautiful. But it wasn't always like that. My head was down. I believed I was ugly. I was nothing. I was useless. I was never going to amount to anything. Put it this way, I was a disgrace to those who were around me. So when I think that Fikelepi is okay, but then I think, wait a minute, there is someone in the village in Malawi who is going through what Fikelepi went through. So that wakes me up at night and say, I must find girl child. I must reach her. I must go and tell her that she is precious in the eyes of God. That's what drives me.
Kalondolondo is one of the programs that will be working in partnership with Against All Odds. Jeff Damanza is the program manager.
As Kalondolondo, we always do assessments in terms of how services are being provided to the people. And one such assessment was on the girls' self-boarding, and a lot of issues were actually identified that border on the vulnerabilities that girls actually face when they are accessing education. One such vulnerable group was the girls in self-boarding, and since the production of that report, we have been looking for partners who can actually help to alleviate the problems that girls in self-boarding actually face. So by the grace of God, we actually came across Against All Odds that also have a passion for uplifting the girls in education.
Jefta also talks about the scholarship program.
The program we are here is a program that is going to cover 27 girls across the 3 districts. So 5 girls from this school have been selected to actually to receive sponsorship in terms of tuition. Not only that, but they are also going to get various assorted items that relate to their school and their lives, hygiene and all that. So that's the package. But the biggest thing we're coming here for is the sponsorship for tuition, which is going to be there for several years.
Well, it was not all serious business as the group presented the scholarships. There was a lot of hugging, fun and laughter. As the group bid farewell to the students, they both pledged to keep their lamps shining.